Friends, in this lecture we are going to understand what is Ansible roles and how do we create Ansible roles. So this is what we are going to understand in this lecture, and we'll have a lot of lab session so that you will have a better understanding what is exactly Ansible role. So what is Ansible role and where it is required? In simple word, Ansible roles are a way to group multiple tasks together into one container to do the automation in a very effective manner with clean and directory structures. Whenever you have to do some big task in which we have multiple tasks, multiple playbooks are there, and it is difficult to manage in a single file. To do the things in a proper way, in a organized way, we always go with the roles. So roles allow you to create very minimum playbooks that then look to a directory structure to determine the actual configuration steps they need to perform. In simple words, the roles are set of tasks and additional files for a certain role which allow you to break up the configurations. And you can also easily reuse the codes by anyone if the role is suitable to someone. So this is what the basic understanding of roles. Organizing things into roles allows you to reuse the common configuration steps between different types of servers. So what is Ansible role? Ansible roles consist of many playbooks which is similar to modules in Puppet and cookbooks in Chef. We term the same in Ansible as roles. Roles are a way to group multiple tasks together into one container to do the automation in a very effective manner with clean directory structures. Role are set of tasks and additional files for certain roles which allow you to break up the configurations. We can break up the task into different files. It can easily reuse the codes by anyone if the role is suitable to someone. Code means suppose handlers you are using. Handler means restarting the services. You have created one code for that, and wherever it required to restart the service, you simply using those codes. It is easily modify and will reduce the syntax error. So friends, in this lab session, we'll understand how we can create the Ansible roles. So I'm just taking an example. Suppose I have to do the installation of Apache web server. So for installation of Apache web server, first of all, we have to use the command ansible-galaxy to create the template for that. So I'm using a command ansible-galaxy which will create a template for it. Let me show you. So this is my server. I'm using this ansible-galaxy, and it is for to initialize the role, and it always create in the default directory etc ansible roles, and you have to specify the name of any role. Suppose you are going to do a task related to the Apache, so you can give any name here, the name of the role. So I am simply giving Apache, and I would be making it offline as well. Offline means it will create offline mode rather than getting from online repositories. So this is simple command. The first command is ansible-galaxy is the command to create the roles using the template. Second is the init, which is to initialize the role. I have to initialize the role. Apache is the name of your role here, and offline it will create the repositories using offline rather than going from the online repositories. I have just fired the command. You can see the Apache role has been created. It means if I will go to this location etc ansible roles, I can see one directory is there, Apache, which is just now created. Now if I will go inside this directory, I can see a structure of directories are there. A lot of directories are there: templates, files, where, meta, handlers, test, task, default. So this is what it has been created using the command ansible-galaxy. It has created one template for you. So this is the directory structure created here. Like task is here, you can see. Task is basically, it contains the main list of tasks to be executed by the role. If I'm going inside this task, I can see this is the main.yml file. It contains the main list of tasks to be executed by the role. So this is the main file. Now you can see one more directory is there. One is handlers. So handlers which may be used by this role. Handlers is basically like suppose you have to keep on restart the services during the task of your playbook. So you can use handlers. If I will go to this directory, I can see a file main.yml So here I will be creating a task for the handlers. So this is default, is basically default variables for the role. So whatever the default variables you are using, so you can use this directory. Where is for other variables for the role, where has the higher priority than defaults. So whatever the variables you are specifying here, it has more priority than defaults. So this is basically for variables. You can specify your variables into this directory. Files, which contains the files required to transfer or deploy to the target machines. Suppose you have to transfer few files to your client machines, so you can put all your files into this directory. You have to go into this directory, you can put all your files there, and whenever you require to send any files from this machine to your managed host, specify this location. Like this way, there is one more templates, container templates, which can be deployed by this role. And one more thing, meta is there. Meta is basically defines some data information about the role, like author, dependency, version, examples, etc. So this is what the information you can keep here. Handlers, defaults, variables, and files also. So these are the main things which we have to use it to configure your task. So friends, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture, we'll take an example to create a role so that we can understand how we can use these directories to get the desired output. So thanks for watching. If you have time, please join with me in the next lecture. Friends, this is a lab session in which we are going to understand how to create a role for Apache web server. The example which I have taken here, the installation of Apache web server using roles. If roles are not there, then we have to create a simple playbook for that. So let's understand what would be the playbook, and then we'll create a role for that. So simple playbook, you can see if there is no role, then we have to create a simple playbook in which we have to specify different tasks, like the installation of HTTPD package. Okay, and then I have to copy some configuration file, like your HTTP configuration file. Also you have to copy the index file. For that, you can see I have created the task, and then I have to restart the services. For that, I have to simply use the handler and then at last start and enable the HTTP servers. So this is what your playbook looks like. Suppose you have to do the same exercise in an organized way, then you have to go with the roles. So let's start. So first of all, the command is to create the role, which we have already done. Let me do it again. So the command is Ansible -galaxy. Init is for to initialize, and I'm going to create a role. The name of the role is Apache, and I'm making it offline. After that, what will happen? A directory will be created. Now you can see that a directory has been created with a lot of subdirectories are there. If I fire the tree, you can see it looks like that. Now I have to do the installation of Apache web server. So first, main configuration file, that is in your task. So I have to go into this. This is the main configuration file. Okay, the first thing what I need to do, I have to do the installation of HTTP package on my client machine. So how we can do it? So for that, let me do one thing. Let me create one entry in my main configuration file. So this is my main configuration file, which is almost empty, nothing is there. I am putting this entry -import task install.yml. So it will look for this file into this location. So you can create the complete playbook here as well, but I am making it more organized. So what I am doing, I am creating a different file for different tasks. In this file, I would be putting commands for the installation of your HTTP package. It's very simple. So you have to use import_task here. Simple, I have put this entry. So I'm in this location, and this is what the entry I have done it. So now I have to create this install.yml. It's very simple. It always starts with 3 dashes, dash name. What it is, a installation of HTTPD package. For that, I am using yum command. Yum name is equal to HTTPD, and the state should be the latest. Just save out and commit. Next is I have to copy some file as well. So for that, I'm using a file configure.yml. So I'm again going here. First task which I have done it just for the installation of my HTTP. The second is configuration. Configuration, like suppose you have your own HTTP configuration file and you want the same file should be copied to the client machine, then you can copy the file from this to your client machine. Okay, now I have to configure this file. So as of now, 2 entries in my this file you can see. Now I have to configure this, configure.file. So I'm just putting copy my index.html file. From where it will copy? If you remember, there was a directory file. It is in the role directory, like etc Ansible roles Apache. I will show you. So I have to put this my index.html there. So what will happen? The source file, it will look for the files. Files, it is in the etc Ansible roles Apache. There is a directory roles. I will show you. And where it will copy? It will copy to this location. And one more thing I want, after the copying of my HTML index.html file, it will restart the Apache service as well. So for that I would be using handler here. So notify, simple, the name of my handler. I can put anything. Here I am putting restart Apache. For that I would be creating a handler as well, and I have to put the source file as well. So this is what I have done here. Now you can see my configure is there. Okay, now I have to put this file index.html. So I'm in this location. If you'll go a step back and if you'll fire the command ls-ltr, you can see a directory is there file. Now here I have to create the index.html. So it's a simple website. So I'm just creating, this is my first website just for checking roles in Ansible. So this will be my website I'm putting. Okay. The next thing is that service. I have to start and enable the service as well. How we can do it? Again, I have to go to this location, task. Okay. The two things I have done it in my main configuration file. This is install the Apache services. After that, it will copy my index file as well. Now I have to start and enable my service. So for that, again, I'm going to this and I'm again use another task that would be imported from here. Import underscore task, and that would be, I can put any name, service.yml. Okay. Service.yml. Start and enable my HTTPD service. I'm using a module service here, name HTTPD, state I want it should be restarted and enabled. So everything we have done it. The next thing is that we have to create the handler. Here we have put, if you remember in the configure file, I have put after copying this file, it will restart the service as well. So I have to create the handlers. So for handler, I have to go to this location. I'm in this location. I have to go to handlers. Okay, simple. In the main configuration file, I have to put the entry. Let me tell you how to do. This is name, the same name which you have specified, that restart Apache. So whatever the name you are using, that you need to put the same. What it will do? Service name HTTPD state is equal to restarted. So this is what it will do. Okay. So whenever it require the service needs to start it, instead of creating the same task again, you can simply use the handler. So this is what the function of the handler. The same name restart handler I have to use in the configure.yml. So here you can see restart Apache. Let me recheck it again. Okay, I'm again going to this location. task and configure. Restart Apache is the same which I have used for my handler. So this is what I have done it now. The next is your meta. So I have to edit the meta as well. So meta is just for putting the information like who is the author and description, license, everything you can put it in this file. There would be file meta. You can see a lot of entries are already there. You can put your name, description. I can put testing of role using Apache web server configuration, and my company name, I'm just putting udemy.com here. This is what I have done it. So main meta is only for the roles, who has created the roles, the author, description, just saving it out. So what I have done, I have just created my main configuration file, and in the main configuration file, if you'll see, I have further divided into 3 more files, like for the installation of YML, configure and service. And after that, I have used some handlers, and I'm also copying my index.html to my destination. In the next lecture, I'm going to create a simple playbook, and in the playbook, I will call this role. So that's all for this lecture. Thanks for watching. So friends, in this lecture we are going to create a simple playbook, and in the playbook we will call the role which I have created for the installation of web server. So let me create a simple playbook. So at any location you can create, and you can give any name. I'm just giving Apache web.yml, and it always start with 3 dashes, and then on which host you want to run this playbook, I'm giving my web. After that, here I have to use the roles. Which role I had created? Apache. So this is what I have to do it, a simple playbook I have to create it, and here I have just mentioned Apache role. So that's all. After that, let me show you what server which I have selected here, my target server. This is my web, Ansible ---- list host and my web. So what are the servers we have in this target group? So Linux guru.example, this is the one server that has specified in this group. So this is the server I have. Let me see HTTP package is installed or not. It is not installed. HTTP tools are there, but HTTP package is not installed. I'm just running my playbook. And one more thing, I have to log in as my normal user, which I have set it for my Ansible. And again, I'm going to this location where I have this playbook, and I'm running it. Now my playbook has been started. It is gathering the servers Linux guru.example do. The first thing, it is doing the installation of HTTP package. Second, it is copying my index.html to where www.html directory, and then it will start and enable HTTP service, and at last it will use handler and start the service. So this is what we have created the role in an organized way. You can understand. We can do all those things in a single file as well, but that was not in an organized way. So this is what the concept of roles. Let me log into my client and let's see. Now you can see a package has been installed now, and if I will go to this location where this file has been copied to this location, and if I'm here and if I'm using this elinks and Linux guru.example.com, let's see whether I'm able to open this website or not. So I'm able to open my website which I have just created with the help of this playbook, which is using a role concept. So we have discussed different directories. If I'm going into this location, roles, Apache, you can see different directories are there, files, handlers, meta, tasks. Now you can understand the use of each directories. So that's all, and if you have time, please join with me in the next lecture. So thanks for watching. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about Patching on Linux servers using Ansible playbook. It's a very important topic to understand because in any environment where we have multiple Linux servers to manage, we want all the servers should be properly updated. For that we have to do patching on timely basis so that we can avoid any vulnerability attack on our Linux servers. In this lecture, I am going to show you how to automate the Linux servers patching using Ansible playbook. And also you have to keep in mind few points, few aspects before initiating the patching. So here we have verify the application database processes are running or not. So this is my first requirement. When the playbook is initiated, it is going to the managed host where I want to do the patching. Very first step, it should check whether the application or database is running or not. If it is running, at that point it should throw a message that first stop the application or database, then only we can initiate the patching. This is the decision point to start patching. So at that point it is just going to throw a message that please stop the application first, then attempt patching. Suppose the application or database is not running on the system. The next task would be it should copy the required repo file to the managed host. Suppose I want to do the kernel patching, or I want to do some network patching or simple patching. So accordingly you have to create your repo file and copy that repo file to your managed host, and then it should initiate the patching, upgrade the kernel patches, or whatever you want to do it. Any kind of patching you can do. After the patching, check if reboot is required or not. So for that we are just going to create a simple a script. I am going to show you. If the reboot is required, it is going to reboot the system. If the system is rebooting, obviously it will take some time, maybe few minutes. So wait for a few minutes so that the system or server should come up after the reboot. And then once the server has come up, debug a message with a new kernel version. It will debug a message that this is a new kernel version after the patching. So friend, that's all for this lecture. Next lecture I am going to start creating the playbook, and what are the steps I have discussed here. I am going to create the playbook accordingly. So that's all. We'll see you in the next lecture. Let's start creating a playbook for Linux servers patching. So very first task in my playbook, that is for verify the application or database process are running or not. I do not have any application or database to show you. So for testing purpose, I am just considering the Apache process as an application process. So it is going to check that Apache process is running or not. If the Apache process is running, it will throw a message that please stop the application first and then attempt patching. So let me log in. This is my Ansible server and this is my client machine. I had created a group, that is my host group. Let me show you Ansible. And client 6 on which I am going to do the kernel patch. So let me start patching, and the name of my playbook I am giving you can give any name. Okay, patching, right? And become true. To initiate the patching, you should be root only. My first task, verify application or database, whatever you want to put, you can put, are running or not. So how we can check? So let me log into my client machine. So this is my client machine. So if I'll simplify ps-ef and grep-i h, you can see number of processes are running. It means that the processes are running, the application is running. Let me stop this one. Systemctl stop stpd. Again, if I am going to fire this command and I am getting this output, grep-v grep. So if this process is not running, this application is not running, if I'll fire this command, I'm not getting any output. So this is the concept I'm going to use to check whether the application is running or not. Okay, and here I'm just creating a very simple shell script. So the module I'm going to use shell module. Okay, and the command I'm going to use if else, if ps-eaf. This is the command to check the process. Which process I want to check? I'm using egrep. I want to check this process httpd and grep-v, this one, and I just want to nullify any errors. So this one, let me copy here and fire this one. I'm not getting any output, but if I'll fire if I'll start this service, again I'm going to fire, I'm getting some output here. I do not want to get any such output when I will run my playbook. That's why I've used this one, dev null. So whatever the output is, it should nullify. Then echo process running. If I'm getting some output here, it means that process is running. Right? Else echo process not running. I have used simple if else here. I'm closing it. Right? So if I'll fire this one, let me copy this one and paste it here. Some typo mistake is here. Okay, it's echo. Okay, let me copy one by one here. I'm just copy and paste the same command here. So process is running, right? Let me stop this one. And same command I'm firing, process not running. So same condition I'm using here, right? I'm here now. This one. I just want to ignore any errors at this point. So for that you have to use this module, ignore underscore errors, true. Now whatever the output is coming, either it should be process running or process not running. I want to save this output in a variable. So for that I am using register, and you can give any name. I am giving proc process application process check. So this is the name of my variable, we can say, and whatever the output I am getting after running this command, it is going to save into this variable. Okay, and after that I just want to debug a message here, and the message is this one, is equal to, so whatever the output is here, it is going to save here. And if you want to see what is the output, whether it is process is running or not. So here I am going to use this debug, and this is my variable, and to read the variable you have to use this one, and at the last you have to put std out, right, and close this one. So this is my first task. Let me copy and let me check the syntax error. Ansible it is running now. Okay, let me check the syntax. Syntax is okay. Okay, so let me cross check whether this task is working or not. Capital K I have to use here. Verify the process not running. Let me start the process. I have started the process, and again I am going to run this one. So this time it should throw a message, process is running. You can see process is running. So till here my Ansible playbook is correct. So friend, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture I am going to discuss how to decide whether the playbook should proceed further or it should stop here. So that's all, we'll see in the next lecture. Let's continue and do the next task, decision point to start patching. Now let me log in into my Ansible server and edit the playbook. So this is my Ansible playbook for patching. So here you can see in the first task I have just verified the application is running or not, and I would be getting an output, either it should be process running or process not running, and it is going to save into this register. Now how my playbook will come to know that I need to proceed further or I need to stop here? For that I am going to use a module, that is fail module. So let me show you how we can use this module. So my next task is decision point to start patching, and here I'm going to use a module, that is fail module. So if it is getting fail, what message you want to debug at that time? So I'm going to use message here, and Ansible fact I'm using inventory host name, so it will find out the name of the host on which the patching is failing is because of application is running. So I just want to debug this message, the host name, this one having running applications, please stop first and then attempt patching. So like this way you can type message. Here I need to use one condition as well. My condition is that when it is going to fail, when the output of this one should be equal to process running. If the process is running, I want my Ansible playbook should not proceed further. So that's why I've used a condition here. Let me check the syntax here. Syntax is okay, and this is my client machine. Let me start this. Okay, so if I am going to run this one, it means I am going to get a message that stop the application. So here you can see at the decision point we have got a message that client 6 having running applications, please stop first and then attempt patching, right? and let me stop this one. Stop means that we are good to proceed further, right? Again I am going to run the same playbook. So this time it is going to skip and will start further. Here you can see that process not running, decision point to start patching, it is skipping here and moving further. So friend, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture I am going to show you how to copy the required repo to the managed host. That's all, we'll see in the next lecture. The next task is copy the required repo file to the managed host. So this is my Ansible server and I've already created a repo file, and this file I have to copy to my managed host. So let me edit this one. So in this file the required information is there, because your client machine doesn't know from where I will get the updates. So the client machine is going to refer this file, and in this file it will get all the information like which is your yum repository, which is your yum server, which is your satellite server, whatever, and what the way the client machine should follow to get the required packages. So we need to copy this file to the client machine. So my next task is copy the, suppose it's a kernel repo, kernel patch repo, I can put this one. So you can give the description according to your environment. I'm going to use copy and source is in this location, that is destination where I want to copy to my client machine, em.repos.d. Let me check the syntax. Ansible, syntax is okay, and this is my client machine. Okay, I'm going to run this one, Ansible. So process is not running. So decision point, it has skipped this point and started further, and copy the kernel patch repo. Let me see whether the file has been copied. Now you can see the file has been copied, this one, and in this file all the required information are there. So when from the client machine I'm going to fire the command like yum update whatever, it is going to refer this file and will get all the required packages and will update the system. So friend, that's all for this lecture. We'll see you in the next lecture. Bye. Let's continue and do the next task, that is upgrade the kernel or packages. Let me log into my Ansible server and edit the playbook. So before to initiate the kernel patching, I just want to capture the current kernel version of the system. I'm going to use a shell module and uname -r. So this is the command which will give you the kernel version of a system, and I'm putting in a register here. You can give any name, I'm giving this one. Now I want to initiate the patching. Right, and I'm going to use the module yum here. Name, what patching you want to do. I want to do kernel patching. State, it should be latest. You can put according to your requirement. and here also I'm going to use a register. I just want to put it in a register. The name I have given yum_update, and after the patching I just want to debug a message, that is kernel has been updated. But maybe you were doing the patching and there was some error. The patching was not successful because of n number of reasons. But if I will debug this message here, the patch has been updated. So that's a wrong message I am giving here. So I'm going to use a one condition here, that is when this one yum update, and here I'm going to use exit status dot rc is equal to 0. It means that this command, your yum update kernel, if it is run successfully, the exit status should be 0. So let me show you with another terminal here. Suppose I am simply firing ls command, I am getting some output. It means that the ls command has been run successfully. So how would I know the exit status? Simple fire this one and this one. I am getting 0 output. It means that my command has run successfully. If I am giving any absurd, you can see that I have got some error. Again I am going to fire this one. I am getting some number which is apart from 0. 0 output means that the last command which I have run, it is successful. So that's why I have used this one, right? And let me come out from here. Let me check the syntax. Syntax is okay, but I am not going to run as of now because I have few more tasks, that is check if reboot is required after the kernel update, reboot the system, wait for a few minutes, and debug a message. So that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture I am going to add these tasks. So that's all. We'll see you in the next lecture. Let's continue and do the next task, that is check if reboot is required after kernel update. To accomplish this task I need to write a very simple shell script. Before to write a shell script, I just want to show you few commands. So this is my client machine, and if I'll fire this command, it will show you the updated kernel version. Suppose I have updated my kernel, and if I'll fire this command, at the top you will see the new kernel version. So here you can see that both the command, the output is same, the kernel version is showing the same. Suppose I have updated my system. After the updation of kernel updation, if I'll fire this command uname-r, it will start showing the new kernel version. But if you fire this command uname-r, still it will show you the old kernel version. For that you have to take the reboot. So I'm going to use the same concept. I'm just going to compare both the output, and if there is a difference in the output, it means that my kernel has been updated. If it is the same output, it means the kernel has not updated. So this is my client machine, this is my Ansible server, and task is check if a reboot is required. Okay, and I'm going to write a simple shell here, shell script. So first of all I'm going to create a variable here, and in that variable I'm going to use few commands. This one, okay, and I want the topmost output. For that I'm going to use head -1, the top line output, and also awk, I just want to print the first line, right, because I need to compare with this output. Okay, so I just want to get this output only. I need to cut this one, kernel dash this one from this output. So I'm going to use shed here, and this I need to cut this one, kernel dash, and this one. Okay, now you can see this output and this output is the same. The same I'm going to use here. Let me put here, right, this is my new kernel, and kernel now, or we can say the old kernel, that would be uname -r. So uname -r output will only be updated after the reboot, but this output, the kernel underscore new, it doesn't require a reboot. Okay, so two variables we have, this one and this one. I want to compare both, so for that I'm going to use if dollar this variable, and if it is not equal to this one, right, so it means the kernel echo kernel has been updated. Kernel has been updated means reboot is required. Reboot is required, and else echo reboot is not required, right. I just want to ignore some errors. And register, I just want to register this one, the output. So there would be output either the reboot is required or reboot is not required. So I am just saving the output into this register, that is reboot check, right. So this is one thing here, and if you want to debug message, you can debug message here. And here you can put this one. Okay, so this is one thing. Now the next is, you want to reboot it, right? Suppose reboot is required, then you want to reboot your system. How you can reboot your system? I'm going to use this one, name rebooting the system, rebooting after patching, right. And for that I'm going to use simple command, that is reboot, and here I'm going to use a condition, this one, and it should be equal to reboot is required. Okay, so let me come out from here and let me check the syntax. Syntax is okay now. So we have done till here. Reboot the system. The next is, suppose the system is rebooting, we have to wait for few minutes so that the server should come up, and then we will debug the message with the new kernel version. So friend, that's all. We'll see you in the next lecture. The next task is reboot the system. By default, Ansible will run the task one after the other in sequentially. That is, Ansible executes the first task, and after the completion of the first task, it will go for the another task. This is the behavior of Ansible. But when you reboot your client machine using any command, shutdown -ry now, what will happen? The communication between your Ansible server to the client will be broken because system is rebooting. The SSH communication will be broken. So what will happen at that time? Immediately your playbook will throw an error message that the client machine is unreachable and your playbook would be terminated. So what is the solution for that? Solution is, when you create the task for the reboot, you have to use few more modules for that. So you can use a module that is async module. So using Ansible async module, we can put the task in background, which is taking more time, and we can continue with the other task. So here, when we create a task for the reboot, we will use one more module, that is async module. It will start rebooting, it will start firing this command in background, and it will go for the next task. My next task is debug a message with new kernel version. But also here one more condition, we can only debug this message once the server should reboot and come up. So here we have to pause the playbook for some time. So for that you can use sleep command or wait for connection or pause. So let me log into my server and complete this playbook. So my next task is reboot the system after patching, and I'm going to use shell module here, and this is shutdown -ry now. So if I'll simplify this command without using any option or other module, what will happen? The communication will be broken, and immediately it will throw an error message that your client machine is unreachable. So I have to use few more module, that is async, and I'm giving 1 minute. So basically it is telling how much time this command will take. So I'm putting 1 minute, or you can put whatever time you want, and immediately it will go to the next task. And also you have to use one more option, that is poll. So poll basically indicates to Ansible how often to poll to check if the command has been completed. So here we know that the system is rebooting, so I do not want the poll should check the command should completed or not. So here you have to use 0. So 0 means fire and forget. If you do not need to wait on the task to complete, you may run the task asynchronously by specifying a poll value of 0. So I'm putting 0 here. Now what will happen? It will just reboot your system and immediately will move towards your next task. So I just want to wait for some time. I'm going to wait for the system to come up, and using the module, that is pause, and minutes, 1 minute I want to wait. I know that my system, it won't take much time, hardly it will take 1 minute. You can put according to your environment. And the next task is my that is the last task is debug a message, that is new kernel version. So I know that my system after the reboot has come up, and I'm going to use a module, that is shell, and the command is uname-r. You can use command module also, and I'm going to use register, and you can give any name here. I'm giving this new kernel, and then debug a message. New kernel version is and old kernel version was. So if you remember, before initiating the patching, I had capture the kernel version. Here you can see that, so it was the register here, so I'm going to use this one only. So my playbook has been completed now. Let me cross check the syntax. Check. Syntax is okay, everything is fine now. So I had created a simple playbook. First it is going to verify the application, then decision point, whether it should stop or it should move further, and if everything fine, first task it is going to copy the required repo file to the managed host, and then it is going to upgrade the kernel, check if reboot is required after the kernel update, and reboot the system. And when you use this reboot the system, you have to take care that the communication will be broken, so it should not terminated your playbook. So for that you have to use few modules, that is async and poll, and then wait for few minutes, otherwise it is going move towards the next task. So you can use a lot of modules like sleep module, you can use pause module, you can wait for connection, and you can give any specific time, and then debug a message with the new kernel version. So friend, that's all for this lecture. The next lecture I am going to initiate my final playbook. Hello everyone. So let's continue and initiate the final playbook for patching on Linux servers. So this is my final playbook, and in the previous lecture I had shown you the command for the reboot was shutdown -r y now. This is the correct command, shutdown -r now. And I just want to check the syntax as well. Syntax is also okay, and the server name, that is for the group patching, client 6. So let me log into client 6. This is my client 6, and let me remove all the files from here. And the uname-r, this one showing, and rpm-qa last kernel. So all the output is in front of you. Now I'm going to initiate my playbook. Ansible playbook, my playbook, capital K, and I'm doing step by step. Gathering facts, yes. Verify the application is running or not. Let me cross check. systemctl status httpd, it is not running. Let me start and let's see. So I have just started. It has checked whether the application is running or not. Continue, yes. The process running. So decision point, Continue. Now you can see that it has through a message that client 6 having running applications, please stop first and then attempt patching. I'm going to stop this one. Again I'm coming back to my playbook. Process not running, decision point. Let me take it a little bit up. Yes. Copy the kernel patch repo. Yes, it has been copied. Let me cross check. It has been copied now, and it is just capturing the current kernel version. Yes. Initiating patching. Yes, patching has been initiated now. It will take some time. Now you can see that patching has been done now. If I'll fire this command, you can see that it started showing the new kernel version, this one. But if you fire this command uname -r, still it is showing the old one. So to make it reflective, you have to reboot your system. Okay, coming back, debug, yes, kernel has been updated. It is checking whether reboot is required or not. It is going to compare both the output, this output command and this output command, and if there is a difference, it is going to take the reboot, and you can see the difference is there. It is saying the reboot is required. Reboot is required. Rebooting the system. Now you can see that the system is rebooting now. This is my system client. See here, you can see the new kernel is started showing here now. Coming back here, now you can see that the playbook is still running. It has not terminated because of that module, async and poll module. Now my system has come up after the reboot, this one. It will wait for 60 seconds here, and if you want to continue, you can press Ctrl C and then C. Okay, continue. Yes, now you can see the new kernel version is this one and the old kernel version was this one. So friends, that's all for this lecture. Hope you got idea how we can patch your environment. So you can use the same script, the playbook, and modify this playbook according to your requirement. You can add on few more options with that, and also you can remove any options which is not suitable for you. So that's all. We'll see you in the next lecture. Bye. Welcome to Automation with Ansible. So friends, today we are going to discuss one industrial project on which I was working in my organization, and last week only I was able to completed this project successfully. So I wanted to discuss this project with all my students so that they can have better understanding on Ansible and will get some exposure on it. And you can also understand what sort of the work you are going to get on Ansible if you are going to support any Ansible project. So friends, first of all we need to understand what is the project. So project was very simple. There is a specific team, application team and database team. They are supposed to stop some applications. For that they are using some scripts. There are some set of scripts. They are supposed to run those scripts manually one by one. First it will stop the applications, then databases, and after that they have to perform some activity. And once the activity will be completed, the database team is supposed to start the database, and then application teams started the application using some sort of the scripts. So what basically the scripts are doing? So scripts basically they are stopping instances at the backend. So we are not supposed to focus much what exactly the scripts are doing. Our part is to automate the stop and start scripts. That's all. So the condition was we have to stop application and database on a server using Ansible, and after that once it will be stopped, the application team and DB team they are supposed to perform some activity on the server, and then we have to again start the Debian application sequentially on the server using Ansible playbook. So the playbooks is to created in such a way that it should start the application one by one, and also they have one condition: if any issues come while performing the activity, then the script should not move further, and provide all the failure logs. Suppose for stopping an application they have provided me 3 scripts. First script running successfully and it moved to the second one, and while moving to the second one it will first check whether the first script run successfully or not. If my first script runs successfully, it will move to the second, and while running the second script for stopping the application, it got some error. So they want it should stop at the same time, it should not proceed further, and application team should able to know what exactly the issue is coming. So this was the exact requirement. So we are supposed to create Ansible scripts or Ansible playbooks in such a way that whatever the conditions they have provided us, it should be fulfilled all. So friends, in the next lecture we'll understand how we can create an Ansible, and moreover you can see these are the scripts, stop scripts, the ctm_stop.sh. they have provided me the location, okay, and the name of the script you can see in this PPT. So these are 3 scripts you can see. One is ctm, another one is atm, tp, dav, db, stop, and agents.stop. So our part is to run those scripts with the help of Ansible with some conditions. We do not need to bother much like what exactly the scripts are doing. It's an application issue. If your scripts is not running, if your scripts are getting some error, so our part is to provide them. These are the logs we have got while running the scripts. This is what the error we got. Why we got the error? They are supposed to handle on that. The application teams are supposed to handle it. Our part is to automate this work. So friends, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture we'll understand how we can design our Ansible playbooks using these conditions. So thanks for watching, and if you have time, please join with me in the next lecture. Welcome to Automation with Ansible. So friends, let's start. So we have to create one playbook, Ansible playbook for stopping our applications. So the application name is ctm_stop.sh. So first playbook will stop the mentioned scripts in sequence one by one and also debug the script logs. Script logs means so while running the scripts for stopping the application, it will give some output. Okay, so we want to capture those outputs, and I want it should be display while running the playbook. And moreover, we have to make sure if any of the scripts got failed, then it should throw the failed logs and play output should not run move further. So this is what we are supposed to do in our first playbook. So let me log into my client machine and will show you, if you are running those scripts manually, what are the output we are getting. So I am going to log into my client machine where I am supposed to run those scripts. Okay, so those scripts are available on my client machine. So first of all, I am going to run those scripts manually. So this is my client machine, okay, and I am in this location. These are the scripts are here. So the first script, you can see the ctm stop underscore sh. So this is my first script, ctm underscore stop.sh. Okay, and if I am going to run this script, so let's see, to run a script we have to use sh. Stopping control M application. It is trying to stop and control an application. I am doing it manually. We have to do such things with the help of Ansible. So first I am trying to explain you how the people are doing manually. So manually they have to suppose to run the scripts like this way, but I want to create a Ansible playbook for running these scripts. So you can see it is running and these are the output we are getting. So while running the scripts, they want this output should be capturing. So this is the first script, you can see. The second script is apt dev underscore db stop. So let me run the second one as well. Stopping first instance. This is for the database. First it is stop the application, then we have to stop the database. So it is stopping first instance. The first instance has been successfully stopped. Stopping second instance. First of all, we need to understand what exactly the requirement. That's why I am focusing much on to understand what exactly the requirement is. If we understand the requirement, then only we can create the playbooks. So these are the scripts, we have to run it in sequence way. Okay, it will take some more time. Okay, the third instance has been stopped. Okay, stopping fourth instance. I believe 4 instances are there only. Fourth instance has been stopped successfully. Okay, so it's very simple scripts. Basically we have to run the script, that's all, and this is what the output is generating while running the script. So they want these outputs, scripts output should be captured. One more is for the agents as well. I can see one script is also agent stop. So this agent stop, it's stopping control M agents. So the third one is stopping the control M agents. And one more thing, one condition I have to put, like some issue will come, some error will come, it should not proceed further. So I have discussed with the application team like what should be the error. So they said like while running the scripts, if you get any failed keyword is anywhere it will get, so it should be stopped at the same time. So this is what they told me, and they have provided me one script. I'm just running it, which will show you what sort of the error will get if any failure was there. So they have given me, so that while creating the script we have to keep all the things in mind. So if it is failing, so we'll get such type of errors. So we have to create our playbook in such a way that all the conditions should be fulfilled. So this is what I'm again trying to stopping the application, but let's see, they have provided me one more script and saying that if you are getting such type of errors in your Ansible playbook, so it should be stopped at the same time, it should not proceed further. So we have to put the condition. Now we are getting control M application failed. Okay, so if you are getting any failed keyword while running the scripts, it should not proceed further. So this is what the requirement. So friends, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture we will start creating our Ansible playbook. So thanks for watching. Welcome to Automation with Ansible. So friends, in this lecture we are going to develop our Ansible playbook for stopping the control arm applications. You can see the sequence of the script's name like ctm underscore stop .sh. That would be the first script we have to put it in our Ansible playbook, and then aptm underscore dev underscore db underscore stop.sh, and then last agents. So that would be the sequence of the scripts that should be running one by one. So let me log into my Ansible server and we'll start developing our playbook. So this is my Ansible server. You can give any name, stop control arm dot okay, it always started with 3 dashes, and then we have to give the host name is I am putting my web, and become, I got a confirmation from the application team. They said it should be run as a root only, so become is equal to true. I am putting what method, before to method we can put become underscore user, it should be root, and for method it should be sudo. Okay, and it's all on task. The first task is my name, stopping the control arm applications, and I can mention the script name as well, ctm underscore stop .sh. That was the name of my application. So what will happen while I will executing it, so this name will be displayed so that you can got an idea what exactly is happening. And I'm here using shell module, so you can use shell here. Why I'm not using command module? Because command module is having some limitations, like if you'll go with the command, it will not execute your shell, it will not execute the environmental variables, as well as shell operations like redirections and piping. That is not possible with the command modules. So that's why I'm using shell module. Shell module is basically for executing the any script, but it is also taking the environmental variables as well as redirections and piping. So all these features we are getting with shell module. So I'm using shell module here. And what is the name of my script? That is in opt aptm, and then the name of my script is ctm underscore stop .sh. This was the script on my name, on my script. Okay, and after that I'm just creating a very simple, and then we'll make it little bit, adding more things on that. So what will happen with this, it will execute the script. Okay, and whatever the output of the script I am putting here, check underscore application check, you can put anything. Okay, and now I want to put a debug message here. Message is equal to ctm application stop successfully when I'm putting one condition here, when my this app underscore check .rc exit status should be 0. If it is the script has run successfully, then we will get this app underscore check underscore .rc should be 0. So this is what one condition I have put it here. Okay, and what will happen with this, you will come to know that the script has been run successfully, but it is not a complete script, because as per the requirement they want to also put the log messages for control M as well. So let me first run it, let's see. what is the output I am getting here. So to run it, Ansible playbook, and the name of my this. So I have just simply running my Ansible playbook, in which I have just mentioned the name of my scripts. That's all. I'm getting a lot of error here. Let's see. It is telling that no such file is there. Some typo mistake is here. So typo mistake is it's small s. Now it is running. Now you can see task stopping the control M application, and the name of the script is also coming there, ctm_stop.sh. Now it is running. It will take some time here because the complete script will take few minutes. Now you can see the CTM application is stopped successfully. This is what the message we have got. We have not put any conditions here. I'm not able to get any application log message here. So I want to make it more specific. Then let me do some more changes here. So as of now, what I have done, I have simply executing the script, that's all. And if it is running successfully, for that I have just put a single condition here. Now I want to get the output as well here. So let me put some conditions here. So what I am doing here, I am just redirecting the output of my command, and to any file I am putting to file, and I am just putting some redirection here. So whatever the output, like errors and everything, that would be coming into this file. Okay, and here what I am doing, now you can see after running this script, the output of this script is going to this file, and I want to read the content of this file. So what I need to do, I am doing one option here, name log message. This is what I am putting here, log message for control applications. I'm using command here because I do not need to get any environmental variable, nothing like that. I have to just simple cat this file, and whatever the output is coming, I am putting in this register log mss, whatever name you can put it, and then this debug underscore message right. So what will happen, this will execute cat, and in this cat this file, and this file is having the detail of this script. While running this script, it will give some output, and that output will be going to this file. Okay, and I am again running this command module here, so it will cat this file, and whatever the output is coming, it will be save in this variable, and then with the help of debug I'm getting an output here. So I'm running it. Let's see how the output is coming now. Again, it will take some time. Stopping the control M application. Now you can see I am also able to get the log message of the, you can say, the script's output in the Ansible playbook. With the help of Ansible playbook, I am able to get the script logs as well. Now you can see I am getting the stopping control my application, everything is coming there, and control application has been stopped successfully. If suppose my script is getting some error, so the person who is running this Ansible, they would able to know what exactly the error we are getting with the while running the scripts. So now you can understand how I have created my Ansible scripts to get such desired output. So it's very simple here. What I have done, simple, I have created a playbook. Okay, so this is a simple playbook I have created, but still, I have not able to put the conditions for if it is getting failed, how it will come to know that has been failed and it should not proceed further. So this is also we need to understand, and that we will understand in the next lecture. So friend, that's all for this lecture, and in the next lecture we'll add few more conditions, few more options, so that to make it complete as per the requirement. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Automation with Ansible. Now friends, we have to add one condition, like while running the script, the control arm script, if there is any failed keyword, it was throwing an error named as failed, it should not proceed further. Then how we can do or achieve this? For that we have to add a simple shell scripting here with the shell module. Let me show you. So here what I have done till now, I have just executed my script, and whatever the output is coming while running it, it is putting in this file. Okay, now simply I have to check in this file temp opt, is there any failed keyword there or not. If failed keyword is there, it should not proceed further. Then how we can check it? Simple, I would be using exit status. Exit status basically it would be cat this file and will search for the keyword failed, and if it is there, it means my script is not run successfully and it should not proceed further. So let me show you how we can run it. Simple, I am here. Okay, I am cat this file and will grab for failed keyword in this file, right? And I'm just putting diagonal so that while running it, it will not show in the front. Okay, I just want to know whether it runs successfully or not. This is what it should tell. Okay, and then if I'm using exit status here is equal to 0. Okay, so what does it mean? Let me show you. Let me copy it. Let me first log into my, and this is my client machine. So same command which I have written here, it is there only. Suppose I am running this. What does it mean? This is the output of my script, and I am not able to get any failed keyword. It means my script runs successfully. And if I'll fire this echo $, I'm getting any number apart from 0. Okay, so it means the script runs successfully. If I run this command and I got an output like failed keyword is there, so what will happen? My echo status would be 0. Let me show you. If I'm here, I'm just putting some failed in the file. At the last, anywhere I'm putting this just for the testing purpose. Okay, and again I am running it, I got failed, and again I fire this command, I got an output 0. Okay, the same condition I am using. If I am getting an output 0, it means there is a failed keyword in the output of the script, and it should consider that application stop failed, application is not stopped properly. Okay, so I am using a if $? Is equal to 0. What does it mean? It means then echo application stop failed. Means I tried to stop my application with this. I tried to stop the application with this script, but I got an error. So stop failed. I was not able to stop my application with the script. Else, if I am getting any other number, it means failed keyword is not there. It means application is stopped successfully. Application stopped. Right. So this is a simple thing I have used here. Okay, and now while running it, while running this command, either it will throw this application is stopped, or application is stopped failed, or application is stopped. So whatever it will throw, application is stopped or application stop failed or application is stopped, it will be saved in this variable, right? And here we have to change the condition, like first condition is that, now I am going to change here, app underscore check dot std out is equal to my application stopped, right? Application message stopped. So what does it mean? Suppose I am getting this, okay, application is stopped, then CTM application is stopped successfully. I have put one condition, when my this app underscore check dot std out, it should be equal to application is stopped, because while running this command, one variable will be coming, one output will be coming, either this application is stopped failed or application is stopped, and whatever the output is coming, it will be saved here. So with this condition, I am justifying whether my application is stopped successfully or not. So I am just putting CTM application is stopped successfully, when this should be application is stopped. Okay, and if it is failed, then you can put another check for that. Okay, debug CTM application stop has been failed. When this is equal to this one, right? Simple. So I'm just copying it and I'm running it. So task stopping the application, control room application. And if it got failed, even though I am getting the log message. So if it got failed, so with the output of my this time output 2, we'll come to know what exactly the issue, what exactly the error message are coming. So it is complete now, you can understand. It is running the application, it is checking whether, now you can see this control M application has been stopped successfully, right? Okay, now you can see the C control M application is stopped successfully. It didn't get failed here, and also I can see the message as well. Suppose it got failed here, okay, then with this log message we'll come to know why it got failed, where it got failed. Okay, so like this way you have to develop the playbook. So friend, that's all for this lecture. Okay, in the next lecture we'll understand something more about this script. Thanks for watching. Welcome to automation with Ansible. So let's continue. So friends, as of now we have understand while running our playbook, it is executing the respective scripts, as well as we are getting a desired output, and we'll come to know whether my scripts run successfully or not. So let's test whether if I'm getting some failed keywords. So I got one script, this one, and you can see here I got this script, and if we'll run in this script we'll get some failed keyword. So let me try with this my Ansible playbook, and we'll come to know that if it is any failed keyword is there, whether I'm able to get the message or not. So let me do the changes. So instead of this, I'm putting the name of my this application, this, just for the testing purpose I'm doing it. Stopping the control M, and I know that while running this script a failed keyword will be coming in the output of the file, and with the shell script what will happen, it will check whether the failed keyword is there or not, and it will find it, and then it will throw a message like it got failed. Stopping is not happened properly. So this is what I was expecting from the script. Now let's see. Stopping, it is trying to stop the control M. Now you can see I got an CTM applicant stop has been failed, and you can see here application control M application got failed. Okay, so what I have done, simple, I have, for the testing purpose, I have changed my script so that just to cross check whatever I am doing is correct or not. So while running the main script, and maybe if some failed keyword is there, so it should not proceed further, and you will come to know that with the log message why it got failed, and it will throw a message. So this is what I was expecting, and I got the desired output. So friend, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture we'll understand few more aspects of this Ansible script. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Automation with Ansible. So friends, as of now we have done the testing with the single script now, and with the single script, if any failed error is there, it will throw. But one more condition I want to put here. While moving to the second script, after first script has been run successfully, while moving to the second script, if it got failed, it should not proceed. So this is what I need. If it got failed while at the first script, I do not want it should proceed for the further. So let's see how we can do it. So again I am putting it here. I have put the correct script. I have just changed it with the failed one. Okay, and everything is done fine now. So now I'm moving to the, here I want, like while moving to the next script, it should wait for some time. And you can use a simple module here. Let me show you. Wait for, say for example, I'm waiting for 10 seconds. So the module wait for you can use here. Timeout is equal to 10 seconds. So what will happen? Before moving to the next script, it will wait for 10 seconds here. Okay, now my next task is stopping aptm database. And what was the name for that? aptm underscore dev underscore db underscore stop, I believe, dot sh. So that was the name of the script. Okay, and shell, I'm using this shell here, and the name of my script was aptm, and let me check it from here. Okay, let me make it up so that you can understand more. Okay, so I am running my second script here. Okay, and the same thing again I have to put it here, some conditions like while running it should throw an output temp. I'm putting 3 here. Whether all the outputs, whether it's useful, error, it would be redirecting into my this temp opt out 3. And again I'm putting the same condition here, cat temp out 3 grep iw. It will search for failed keyword, def null. If exit status is equal to 0, then echo db stop failed. Anything you can put it. It's just a variable, you can say. It is some keyword that will be saved in your variable. Else echo db stop. fi. That's all. And condition I need to put when. Now I'm putting one condition here. When, what condition I am putting here? I am taking from my previous. When this is equal to this one. So I need to understand one thing. Suppose I have run this script, okay, and it was run successfully. It means that I got this app stopped. Okay, so while running the second script, I am checking my condition with my first script. It will check whether my first script runs successfully or not. My first script run was ctm underscore stop. So if it is run successfully, it will got an output app stop. So here what I have checked here, so that was my variable, okay, and the same condition I have put it like app r underscore check dot std should be equal to app stop. So this is one simple condition I have used, okay, and if it is running here, so again I am putting it in variable db underscore status is equal to chat. So whatever the output of the script is coming, whether it's db stop failed or stop, it would be saving, it would be save into this variable. That is your db underscore check, db underscore status underscore check. Okay, now again I am putting some debug message. aptm db stop failed. When it got failed, condition when my this okay dot std out is equal to this one. Okay, same condition I am using here. Okay, just a game of putting conditions. Okay, and the log message you can put here, name log message for aptm db stop. Okay, and for that I am using command module. You can use shell as well, no issues. Cat this one, so it would be coming into this file, and I am putting register here. So whatever the output is coming, log ms1, because log msg I have already used here. so I'm using some other name, and then debug message is equal to this one, message log message 1 dot std out underscore lines, this one, so that whatever the output we are getting while running the script, it will give in front of you. Okay, and one more condition I am putting here, like my debug aptm db has been stopped successfully when db underscore stop status check this one, dot std out, the condition is this one, db stop. Okay, and I want it should stop for some time, name, or wait for some time, wait for 10 seconds or whatever. It was the requirement, like while moving to the second script, it should wait for some time. So now you have learned one more module, that is how to wait for some scripts. So friends, what condition I have used here? So first script will run, so whatever the output is coming into this file, okay, and whether it's stopped or failed, two keywords will be, one keyword will be coming, like whether it's stopped or failed, it will be saved here. Now while running this my second script ATM, so it should check, like it will only execute this script when it will satisfy this condition. The condition is this one, app underscore check, this one, std is equal to application is stopped. If your first application is stopped successfully, then only it will go for the second one. Okay, so this is what I have created, the playbook. Okay, so friend, that's all for this lecture. In the next lecture we'll execute this one, and we'll see that how the output is coming. So thanks for watching. Welcome to Automation with Ansible. So friends, let's continue. So in the last lecture we have configured our two scripts. One is for the CTM, that is for stopping control applications, and once it got successfully, it will move to the second one, that is for the stopping the database instances. And condition was there, if your first script got failed, it will not proceed further. So we'll do both the checkings. First I am going to run my playbook, and let's see. This is my Ansible server, and this is what I have created for you. Okay, it will check for the first script and it will move to the second one. Okay, I'm just coming out and I'm running it for you. And let's see. Stopping control arm application first, the CTM underscore stop.sh. It will take some time here. I can see that my CTM application has been stopped, and also I got the log message. Now it has moved to the second script, stopping aptm db. It has waited for 10 seconds. This is what the module I have used for wait for 10 seconds. Now you can see the beautiful output I am getting. The script is running, and also I am getting an output as well, the log messages. Okay, now it is stopping aptm db. It will take some time because a lot of databases are stopping. The 4 databases are stopping, or 4 instances are there. I don't know what exactly the scripts are doing at the backend. Our part is to just to execute the scripts, and whatever the output is coming, that I have to shown at the front of the Ansible scripts. So that's all for our job is to provide this information. That's all. Now I can see that this is what I got it, like my instance has been running. The APTM DB has been successfully stopped, and the log message, you can see how beautiful the log message I am getting here. So this is what the beautiful output I have got it, and this is what exactly the requirement. Now my requirement, one more requirement is like my first script got failed, it should not proceed further. So I am doing some changes in my first script. Just for the testing purpose I am doing it. Okay, so here I am just putting a script. I know that there is a script for that, this one. So what will happen, this script will run and it will failed, and if it got failed, I will get an error message like why it got failed. But I just want to check one more thing here. It should not proceed to the second script. This is your APTM, stopping of the database instances. So let's see. Let me cross check whether my script is correct or not. Okay, underscore fail. Right, everything is fine now. Again I have run my script, stopping the control arm application. I know that the script which I have given in this playbook, it got failed, and as per the condition it should not proceed to the second scripts. Let's see. Okay, now you can see the CTM application stop has been failed. Some failures are there. Now it waited for 10 seconds. I do not want it should proceed for the second one. It should get an error. Now you can see it hasn't moved to the second one because the condition has not met here. You can see the DB check status condition has not met here. So now you can see that if my first script got failed, it will not proceed to the second one. So this is what exactly I was looking for. Okay, and let me move to my PPT. So in the PPT everything is there. This is what the script I have created, and this PPT is already attached with my course module. You can go through the PPT and understand the script which I have created. Okay, and the agents also you have to edit. So while adding the agents, you can again put the conditions like if my DB status is failed, it should not proceed for the APTM agents. Like this way you can create the script for the starting as well. So everything would be the same. You have to change the script name and the conditions. That's all. Okay, so friend, that's all for this lecture. Hope you got an idea how you can deal with the small projects, and how you can create the automation scripts using Ansible, and a little bit of shell scripting. It's also required if you want to make your script more accurate and useful. So you have to learn shell scripting as well. So friend, that's all for this lecture. Thanks for watching. If you have time, please join with me in the next lecture.